Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see about types of machine learning and the machine learning process. Now, to begin with types of machine learning. Machine learning can be broadly divided into three: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. We are going to see one by one in detail. Before that, in short, supervised learning is task driven. It predicts the next value. Unsupervised learning is data driven. It forms clusters using the data and then does the classification process. And as the reinforcement learning is concerned, it learns like a normal human being learning from mistakes. Now we will see one by one. Supervised learning. Supervised learning is like a classroom with faculty. So in a classroom, faculty trains the students using some information that is the labeled data. Likewise, here using supervised learning, the computer or the system is trained using the labeled data. For that, training data set is used. It is the reflection of bigger data set. So by training, what the system learns is it learns the relationship between input and output. That is the cause and effect relationship. When this input is given, what is going to be the output? This is what the system learns from the training data. After training process is completed, then the developed model or the system is tested using a testing data set. Okay, if the testing data set works well with the developed model, then the model is deployed into the real time. This is supervised learning where there is a training process involved. Now moving on to the unsupervised learning. It works with unlabeled data. There is no labeled data or training process. There is only data, and it tries to find out the relationship between the data points by finding the distance between data points. If two data points are nearby, they are put into one cluster. If they are far away, they will be belonging to different clusters or different groups or different sets. So there is a hidden structure between input and output. So in unsupervised learning, there is no training process involved. This is analogous to a classroom without a faculty member. That is unsupervised learning. Next one is the reinforcement learning. This is like how we human beings learn, right? We human beings learn from mistakes. So it is actually inspired from human learning or human perception. Trial and error method is done here. So the outputs are divided into favorable and non-favorable outputs based on the score of effectiveness. The favorable outputs are encouraged or reinforced, now, whereas the non-favorable outputs are discouraged or punished or discarded. And there is an interpreter and a reward system, right? This is reinforcement learning, learning from mistakes or the trial and error methodology. These are three main types of machine learning. There are actually subtypes in each and every type that I think we can discuss in other units, forthcoming units. Now, next we are moving to the machine learning process. So what is the process of machine learning? For example, to make a tea, there is a process, right? You need to light the stove, you need to keep the vessel, right? You need to pour the milk, right amount of milk, water, boil it. After it gets boiled, then you need to put the tea powder, sugar, right? Then again you want to boil for some time so that the essence of the tea powder mixes with the mixture of milk and water so that you will get a tasty tea. So there is a process for making a tea or any other action. In the same way, to develop a machine learning process, to develop a machine learning model, there is a process. Okay? That is what we are going to discuss in this video, and it is shown in this diagram. The machine learning life cycle. It starts with gathering data, then data preparation, data wrangling, analyzing the data, training the model, testing the model, and deploying or deployment of the model. We will see one by one. Gathering the data. It is collecting the data. Whether it is unsupervised or supervised learning or reinforcement learning, data is required. So data has to be collected from various data sources. It can be from the internet, or it can be from real-time data or survey data. So data has to be collected from the data sources. That is the first step, gathering data. Then data preparation. After gathering the data has to be prepared so that we put our data into a suitable place and prepare it to use in training of the machine learning model. Data preparation involves ordering the data. So the data may be not in the proper order. So ordering the data. Then data exploration. We are learning about the data, what data it is, whether it is the cost of a product or whether it is the heart rate data or blood pressure data. So data exploration. Then data pre-processing. Data pre-processing in the sense removing the redundant data, unwanted data, removing the null data, all those things will come under data pre-processing. So data has to be prepared. Moving on to the next step, it is called as data wrangling. It is process of cleaning and converting raw data into a usable format. It is the process of cleaning the data, selecting the variable to use, and transforming the data in a proper format so that it will be suitable for the next process. What are the issues that can be found in a data? There may be missing values, duplicate data, invalid data may be there, noise may be there. So all these things has to be actually corrected. Then data analysis. Now we have prepared the data and done the data wrangling process. Now we want to analyze the data, right? For that, selection of analytical techniques should be done. What analytical techniques that we are going to use? It may be correlation or regression technique or any technique from the different types of machine learning process. After that model is built, then the model is tested. The result is reviewed. That is data analysis process. Then comes the training the model. So we train the model based on the problem that we have taken. We use data sets to train the model using various machine learning algorithms. Training a model requires understanding of various patterns, rules, and features. Then after training, we have to test the model for its efficiency. So for testing, we use the test data set. For testing, we use the test data set. So we test the developed model using the data set, testing data set. To test the model means to determine the percentage of accuracy of the model as per the requirement of project or problem. After testing, we have to deploy now the model onto the real time. So the last step of machine learning life cycle or process is deploying the model into the real world system. If the above prepared model is producing an accurate or satisfying result as per the requirement with acceptable speed, then we deploy the model in the real-time system. But before deploying the project, we will check whether it is improving its performance using available data or not. The deployment phase is similar to making the final report of a project. So these are the different types of machine learning and then the machine learning process. So this is all for this video, and in next video we will see about another topic of machine learning.